It's funny because sake is from my own culture, but I was not really into it when I was in Japan. I was not really aware of knowing my own culture when I was in Japan. I didn't have to. But after I moved to United States, it's kind of forced me to know more about where I'm from. I think that's why I kind of, get attracted to sake, which contains a lot of the Japanese culture and the tradition and the craftsmanship and the Japanese spirits in it. My name is Yoshi Sako. People call me Yoshi. I'm founder of Den Sake Brewery. I came here year 2000 from Japan, and when I came to United States, California, I felt like I was full of American culture inside. I grew up watching American movies and listening to music from here. That made me actually to come to United States. But at the same time, after a while, I moved to California. I felt like, what should I tell to people about myself? It's more like I'm Japanese and I'm different from you guys and I speak not really good English. So I just, wanted to do the more search about myself. So I kind of naturally, I get attracted to sake, which come from my own culture. So that made me decide to go back to Japan to learn more about sake. So this is called shubo. It's called shu is sake and the bo is mother. So literal translation is, mother of sake or sake mother. So this is called yeast starter in English, I think, and basically it's a mini version of the main fermentation tank. We make this yeast starter first in order to propagate good yeast, healthy yeast beforehand. And I'm going to separate these into the 5 different tanks because I'm using all the 5 different tanks. So it takes about 2 weeks. And I am warming up this shubo today. It's called a daki. Today is the first day of daki. It's a baby, so it's just aroma is kind of subtle, but it's getting stronger. The breweries that I did apprenticeship at, the first one was called the Kubota Shuzo in Kanagawa Prefecture. That's in my hometown. So that's the first time I visited to the sake breweries, and I did apprenticeship for 1 month. I think back then I was not thinking about opening my own sake brewery or anything. I just wanted to deepen my knowledge about sake. So I was all the time when I was there, I was thinking about, okay, how to introduce this making process to American people, how I can, capture those steps and to, introduce, all the sake culture to American people. I think I was thinking about only that. Then I went to the sake brewery in Japan. It's called Shiokawa Shuzo in Niigata Prefecture. When I went to that brewery, I made up my mind that I wanted to open the sake brewery. So the purpose of visiting the brewery, the Shiokawa brewery, was a little different from the first one. I was more like focusing on, learning, how to brew sake. And I wanted to bring that technique to the United States. And after I came back, I started to teach sake classes. So I moved on to Yuzuki, a Japanese restaurant in Mission area in San Francisco. I was a sake director and a sake sommelier over there. I kept teaching sake classes, and I went back to Japan again and did some more apprenticeship in the sake brewery to deepen my sake knowledge. It was very rewarding and fun for me to educate people about sake, because this is like more like exchange for me, because I learned a lot about American culture through music and movies, and so I wanted to kind of do something to American people as a cultural exchange. Sake making has a long history, a long tradition in Japan too, and I think introducing sake to people that contains a lot of deeper level of Japanese kind of tradition in there, and the Japanese mentality and the Japanese spirits and the craftsmanship and everything in there. So it was kind of probably easier to talk about sake to people to make them understand where I'm from than using just a language. I think that's why I kind of felt very comfortable explaining about sake to people here. No, this is actually, I was gonna try to make a little fizzy sake with a bubble, but it failed. So the fizz doesn't come out. But,
just in the fermentation process,
carbonated
a little bit?
I left the sediment in the bottle, and I was trying to make the second fermentation happen in the bottle, but it didn't happen. So it's not fizzy, but a little creamy because of the sediment. Yeah, sweet.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. Cheers. It just works out in old age.
I mean, this is the Yoshi
Cheers.
special brew here.
You see something funny, you laugh about it. You don't have to speak English. You don't have to speak language to be present in that moment, right? The same thing, like eating good thing, drinking good thing, just sharing those kind of enjoyment. That's probably, I think it's a more universal way to communicate with, a lot of different people, right? I think.